Local government often operates like a house full of teenagers. Every constituent email, every minor pothole, and every routine request is presented as a life or death crisis. This graphic highlights the level 10 emergency paradox and the systemic alarm of daily inputs. When minor issues masquerade as extreme threats, the sirens never stop blaring. The pressure gauge maxes out, pushing staff's operational capacity to the absolute limit. If we react to every one of those sparks as if it were a wildfire, we generate immense motion but destroy our capacity to get anything meaningful done. Solving an immediate, urgent emergency provides a fast adrenaline rush. It delivers a direct, tangible sense of accomplishment in the moment, but high-speed responsiveness to a ringing phone does not equal high-value output. Being fast is not the same as being effective. Effective municipal leadership relies on a disciplined approach to our attention. It requires the rigorous, systematic filtration of tasks to protect the work that actually matters. Without a mechanical filtration system, an organization's entire bandwidth will automatically default to pure reactivity. Filtering that attention requires metacognition. You have to think about the tasks, think about them again, and analyze those thoughts before you execute any actual work. This diagram illustrates the gateway to that mindset. The clock and magnifying glass represent the stop, a proactive pause to evaluate an incoming task before reacting. The compass and sprout emphasize finding true direction and long-term growth over immediate speed. Taking that pause allows you to categorize your workload into 3 distinct buckets: the must-haves that keep core goals moving, the nice-to-haves that feel vital but are just noise, and the legacy weight of routines executed purely out of habit. Stepping back to prepare and categorize isn't a delay of your work. It is the most important work a leader performs every single day. Dwight D. Eisenhower famously distinguished between 2 types of operational tasks. He observed that what is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important. The urgent tasks are the sudden PR crises and the ringing phones. They act upon staff and aggressively demand an immediate reaction. The important tasks are your strategic plans, staff development, and process improvements. They sit quietly and require you to proactively act upon them. This matrix maps incoming data. On the left, tangled lines represent requests trapping staff in the urgent but unimportant quadrant. Passing through center filters, noise separates from value. On the right, filtered data transforms into structured thought and operational growth. Confusing urgency with importance traps professionals in a cycle. You run ragged putting out petty fires, ending the day completely busy but entirely ineffective. This illustration of a scale shows the specific danger of legacy weight. On the left side, it tips heavily under chained anchors, old books, and broken gears. These are routines and reports executed purely out of historical habit rather than current necessity. You see this in the status meeting that happens every Tuesday, simply because it has happened every Tuesday since 1998, or in the key performance indicators generated automatically by obsolete software. The management theorist Peter Drucker established a strict rule for this. He stated, "There is nothing so useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all." Speeding up obsolete tasks gives the illusion of progress while consuming resources. On the right side of the scale, the feather and question mark represent the lightweight agility required to execute actual strategic goals, free from heavy legacy anchors. True prioritization requires the daring to say no to efficient legacy tasks. You have to cut the weight to preserve the bandwidth to say yes to your strategic must-haves. Stephen Covey expanded on Eisenhower's philosophy by suggesting that we should proactively place our highest value priorities onto the calendar first, rather than trying to fit them into the gaps left by our existing schedule. There is a strict mechanical difference between a schedule driven by constituent noise and one driven by operational priorities. This graphic contrasts those approaches. On the left, an endless checklist ensures available hours automatically fill with petty emergencies. On the right, a proactively blocked planner carves out space for deep thinking and mentorship, physically protecting bandwidth from the daily noise. Your calendar is the ultimate physical manifestation of your organization's actual priorities. If a strategic goal is not scheduled, it is not important. This rigorous filtration and scheduling constitutes the core function of municipal leadership. When a leader proactively schedules time for process improvements and staff development, They are building systems that prevent sparks from ever becoming fires. This systemic approach reduces the volume of reactive tasks hitting the front lines. Success in municipal government is measured by the transition from reactive firefighting to proactive systemic prevention. By making prioritization a daily discipline, we build an organization that is inherently fireproof.